All right, welcome back to the discussion segment of Good Morning Anambra. And the topic we'll be exploring this morning is empowering women for sustainable development. Well, we are treating this topic today in commemoration of International Day for Rural Women. Yes, this day has been set aside every 15th of October to celebrate the rural women. You know, it is a day that was set aside by the United Nations General Assembly and is being celebrated every year on this particular day, with the aim of highlighting the role and situation of women in rural communities, in rural areas all over the world. It was celebrated first in the year 2008, and after the official recognition by the UN, it promotes and recognizes the role of rural women and also the part they play in food security, the part they play in eradication of rural poverty, and consequently the essentials for the achievement of sustainable development goals that is defined by the United Nations. But at the same time, it also seeks to raise awareness and alert the community to the situation and challenges these rural women face in our different societies. So we have some guests in the studios of Anambra Broadcasting Service this morning that will be helping us to explore this topic. We talk about the challenges women in different communities, rural communities face, and then we'll talk about how they have helped in also, you know, making sure that we have enough food to eat, how they have helped in training their children, raising their children, and so many other areas they have put in their efforts into. So we have our guests seated with us this morning, and also Michael Anchor in the person of Ajolo Chukwu Okabwe is here with me this morning. AJ Blitz, what's going on with you?
A whole lot is going on. And when you're talking about empowering women for sustainable development, sincerely speaking, I think, in my own opinion, the topic cannot be less emphasized based on the fact that the role women play in development of the society, sincerely speaking, it's humongous, it is huge. You take away a woman from the home and then you know there's a huge vacuum 10 men cannot fill. So I think it's going to be a lovely topic to really talk about. And we have here in the studio Lady Uche Okonkwo, Anambra South Zonal Coordinator, Grassroots Ladies Movement. Good morning, Lady Uche. Glad to have you here to talk about this lovely topic. Also, we also have Comrade Uzo Ikemezie, Executive Country Director, Maibo Empowerment Foundation. Good morning, Comrade Uzo.
Very good morning, Joe and Teddy. Viewers at home or wherever you are, please join us for us to see what we have in today's discussion.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to start with you, Lady Uche Okonkwo. We've talked about rural women because the emphasis is on rural because we're commemorating their day. And we know that all the efforts these rural women put, when we talk about ensuring food security, they are the people at the forefront city, seeing that they cultivate good food that they bring out to the market and we buy them and all that. We see their efforts, what they put. But we want to start by talking about the challenges that are facing these rural women in different communities.
Thank you, Mom. As regards to rural women, you know, when you talk about rural women, it's not only that the women in the rural area is concerned. There's even women in the cities that are also facing the same challenges. You know, then the impact of this program to women in general is to empower women, security, you know, and also providing opportunities and resources and skills for them. Because at times these women, they will make an effort and make this production of crops and these foodstuffs, but they will not have an opportunity to export them where it will be marketed for them to make their little money and take care of their families. So that this program is also, we are using this program to empower them how they can be able to be exporting their products to reach to the cities so that they can make a little profit out of it and sustain their families and also touch the lives of people around them. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much Let's come to you, comrade. Apart from the fact that these women are, most of them are farmers, they help us to cultivate food in their different areas. But I really want us to point out some of the challenges these people in rural community, women in rural community face when we talk about health, when we talk about education in every sector.
The problem that women face, first of all, we found out that, I said earlier, the role of a woman, okay, in a family. A family unit is what constitutes the community. Okay, the community constitutes the state, the nation. Okay, so we found out from the family unit, you see, what is the role of this woman? Okay, what are the challenges they are facing? You see, we found out that from beginning, from abolition, biblically, you see, they're meant to be a helpmate, a man. Okay, so if starting from breastfeeding of a child, you see, if you don't empower the person, okay, the woman that's at home, okay, maybe she gets birth and become hungry and they cannot be able to feed the child will not grow, okay, to make up what they call a family. Because what I'm saying now, they're coming to their skills, you see, and the entrepreneurships they have engaged themselves, challenges they are facing. You know, in Nigeria, it is a problem, okay, in Nigerian system that we continue to talk about basic amenities, while other advanced countries have talking about woman per capita income of a person in a given country or nation. You see, Nigeria continue to talk about this social amenity like hospital, okay, good roads, okay, light, okay, water, and all these things. So we can even travel for 7 miles to go and fetch water in a village. Okay, maybe you can use that water to prepare some of the goods that is going to sell in the market. In rural market, you have 4-day markets in Igbo land. Most of them need to do akara. Most of them need to do most of them need to do beans cake. Or have to do all these things and sell it in the market. You see, so for them to get water, it will be very hard. And that's why you can see that Anambra State, maybe the governor has already seen the reason. That's why trying to, collect waters to all the nooks and crannies of this particular city, okay, and environment. But we want it all to sustain it to the rural area so that these women may have access to this particular, amenity. Then we find out that some of the health centers or community, cottage hospitals, okay, are not functional. Most of them may go to farm and they may either have contacted with some of the airborne disease or waterborne disease. And by the time they come home, okay, they could not even afford going to a bigger hospital in the town. The one that is close to them are not functional. And they will be there, okay, having challenges for them to even go back to the farm and now also for them to produce, goods or crops or whatever. Then again, insecurity. Find out that insecurity has bedeviled this country. It's one of the principal demons that Nigeria are suffering today. These women are in the forest, in the farm. They are volatile. Okay, they have already exposed to the external aggressions. Sometimes they will be men, they will be raped, they will be all these things. So these challenges make them not for them to have that particular mind again to go back to the farm. So we found out that it depends on the government, okay, to provide what we call security. And remember what we normally say, town without number, that the primary purpose of every government, as enshrined in section 14, so 1 and 2 of the Nigerian Constitution, as amended, is to protect life and property of its citizens. Primary, not secondary. When you fail primary, you can't go to secondary school. So now, that's why the government has already failed, okay, in primary duty. It's their duty. You don't praise government for private security for you. You have a place, secure us, we clap for you. No. It is your duty because you have already accepted to take that particular challenge to serve. You came to serve, not to be served. Don't want what I'm saying. Yeah. So these women are facing challenge of insecurity, facing challenge of health, facing challenge of basic amenity. Even light is not there. Some people can use light. Okay, maybe they have some of the materials they want to dry. Okay, using electric oven, they cannot use it. Okay, even if for them to have light, for them to prepare their daily market goods, they cannot see it. They're using this lantern and all these, local made torchlights. Okay, these are challenges they are facing. So government should forget about concentrating in the city and go back to rural area whereby these women are dwelling because to sustain the city is the rural people. Yeah. Because the goods that come to Okana is from my town. It's from other community and other area. The fish that we eat, all this local fish we eat here, it's from a area like like all these things, most of them are coming from that place. So let us take this development to that place. These are challenges they are facing day in, day out.
Let me come to you, Lady Uche. Talking about the empowerment of women, rural women, so to say, the emphasis as in the role they play in the economy of wherever they find themselves in Nigeria, the local communities and the rest of it all can never be underemphasized. But then, Just like Chidima was talking about, the challenges. As a group, like the coordinator, South Zonal Coordinator for Grassroots Ladies Movement, as a group that you guys are, what are your programs that you will need, be it state government to intervene, you understand, to help to see, or even corporate or religious bodies? Can you tell us some of the programs you guys have needing assistance from? Would be maybe the government or even religious bodies. Let's get to know about some of your programs.
Thank you. Our program concerning these rural women, is to provide women's rights and also gender equality through public and awareness. Okay. Campaigns and lobbying for policies that promote women and women's empowerment. Because if you empower women in rural area, believe you me, you're empowering nation.
We know. But at the same time, there's this adage, or will I say, a belief that a woman's role, like our outgone president, said that a woman's role is in the kitchen and in the other room. You understand? So now, how then do you begin to change the narrative, you understand? Talking about empowering women in the rural areas, because in the northern part of this country, we have women, you understand, that are playing a backseat role. They are not even in the forefront of any form of empowerment. Yeah. Can your organization try to break that stigma in trying to liberate these women from the stronghold of either tradition or religion? Thank
you very much. That time of that is the role of a woman is in the kitchen, that era has gone. Now the woman is not. That's what we are fighting and up to fronting, because now we intend to not only that intend, we have started giving them training on programs, skill workshops, then that will make them to support their careers and develop them in whatever they are doing. Because if you train a woman, you have trained a nation.
That's what we were taught in school. We were taught that. I can't forget that.
Calling on governments to give us that support we need to make sure that we impart that skills on them, we educate them, we give them the necessary thing they need to move forward, to make that training to receive, to be active. You could go and train after training somebody, but you do not empower the person, that training is useless. Because when you empower the person now will be able to make use of that training very well. Because if you teach a child or if you teach a woman how to prepare fish, smoke fish, go to the farm, prepare the fish bunch, from fish bunch to the table, to the oven, and all those nuts. You do not give the person the oven, the elevator to do those things, or the generator that is helping to be powering those equipments. Then the training is not worth. Because after training, you have to empower the person. Then when you empower the person, show me how to fish, and don't give me fish. Okay. So that anytime I want to fish, I can get fish myself without you knowing that I eat fish. But if you keep on giving me fish without telling me how to fish, you're not helping me.
You're not helping.
All right, thank you so much for that submission. Coming back to you, comrade, when we talk about rural women, some of these women in rural communities, they are without any formal education. And so some of them, they were just born and bred in a community where all they knew was at a certain age they got married, and some of them, what they know is maybe they are farmers because their parents are farmers, and from there they continued. We know, but these days I know that few of them are coming out of their shell. But one thing peculiar with these women in the rural communities are some of them are without voices. They don't know how to speak out when they are being marginalized, when they are being mistreated. And when we talk about gender-based violence, you see them most in rural communities. And we've already advocated so much, even on this particular platform, of how to reduce that particular thing being meted on women. I mean, violence on women. Now, as the executive director of MIBO, I know most of the people in that particular organization are women, and some of them are from rural communities. How have you come together as an organization to see how we can, give these women in this rural community voice for them to speak out when their rights are being infringed upon, and also when they are being violated by anyone around them in the community? We know about how they treat widows in rural communities, even though we have laws now that are stepping down on some of those things. But I'm talking about your organization. In what way have you contributed to the fact that these women need liberation, they need to be heard, and they need to be given a platform to maximize their potentials?
Thank you very much. Well, in a nutshell, you see, in the Maibu Empowerment Foundation worldwide, you see, what we do is that it's 4 cardinal points. First of all, we talk about orientation, that is education. Okay, we educate. After educating, then we now send them for training. After training, those the candidates, okay, the trainees, then we have to now give them what we call exhibition or examination. Okay, by the time you pass that examination, they will be empowered. That is okay, because we buy in Igbo, it's okay, that's why I have the acronym of MIBO called education, training, exhibition, and empowerment. You see, so we now believe that these women in the rural area, before it meant for the youth, okay, we want to captivate the youth of Igbo-speaking community globally. You see, but we find out that the women are more volatile. Okay, that's why we now go to the villages, okay, and get these women that are either they are widowed or they come from a very indigent background, which they cannot even make a living. So what we're going to do, we now bring them. Challenges they now have, most of them are eager to learn work, okay, but they don't have resources to do that. You can see them maybe to learn fashion and designing or to learn baking, okay, can cost about more than 50,000 naira to train a person by other people that are doing the training, okay. We call them, maybe they don't have up to that money, they may have about 100 or 50,000 naira. Come, maybe we're going to assist you to make sure that they get trained, okay, then we're going to make sure that they've been examined and they empower you at the end of the day. Most of them now started making a living as a widow, instead of you to start to junketing and panketing, okay, to women, so that the men around the villages, okay, you make a living. So what we have done over the years, for over 5 years I've done this, we have really groomed women who come out to tell government, to tell people that here we are and this is what we need, okay, because if you empower a person, the person has to empower other person. In Maibu, what we do is not political empowerment, it is economic empowerment. That is social empowerment. If we give you something, empower you, we expect you to empower another woman, that woman empower another person. Before you know it, all the women in the rural area and the people has been empowered and they get something they're going to do to earn a living. Okay, despite that it may not be for them to become a billionaire automatically, but by time being, they're going to be a billionaire. We give examples to them, what we call a biblical virtuous woman. That virtuous woman, nobody give him formal education. He was not going to any university in Egypt, anywhere, but you can see what Bible says, that early in the morning, okay, he prepare all the things, the tables for his family, for our family, and goes out and still get something to do for your family. So this is what we take women in the rural area, and we started to give them that's why orientation is very important, to change their psyche, for them to reason and know that they are part of society and nobody should intimidate them and nobody should subject them, nobody should now harass them. So they have a voice in society. We might have done this thing for 5 years and we continue to do that. Maybe on 25th of this month, okay, that is next week, you will come and see some women that we are going to empower by giving them ovens. They want to make meat pies, want to make cake, want to make all these things, start to sell it. Because they don't have anything again left for them. The economy is hard. So we're going to empower them as little as we can. So these women that are vulnerable in the village or rural area, they will now have a sense of what belongs to society. So we give them formal and informal education during time of orientation. That will last for 2 weeks. Thank you.
Well, talking about empowering, we don't want to forget the fact that the role of a woman cannot be underemphasized. But at the same time, when we're talking about giving these women the empowerment that they need, what's going to be happening to the home front? Who is going to be taking care of these kids, the children at home, and even the husband too, because there is a role for every person to play. Now, coming to you, Lady Uche, when you gather these your women and give them the necessary empowerment, based on what we are seeing in our society now, there is total rot, decadence, you understand? Our youth no longer listen to the advice of parents and the elderly. And is it going to be a case of we trying to empower the women and then the home front is suffering? How do your women and the empowerment that they are seeking tend to counterbalance so that we don't have the rot presently we have in the society, but then have a woman, or rather have an economy that is thriving based on the empowerment the women are bringing to the table?
Thank you very much. Then when it comes to that, this role of a woman, is what we know how to do best. Because not that when you empower the woman, to take care of the resources around her, or to do not forget the management of the family. Yeah. No, we know how to handle them. Because as a woman, you see a woman, before 5 a.m., is awake in his house. He's no longer sleeping. He's taking the care of house chores, how to keep the families, how to how to go to school run and everything before going to going to his own business. Yes, we did those things in consideration, because we know that if you just focus on making money, making sure that there's food on the table, without neglecting the children, the role of a woman as a woman in the family, we are not getting anywhere. We are not going anywhere.
And this year, it's a long one, but I have to read it out. To rural women, this year's theme is Rural Women, Sustaining Nature for Our Collective Future, Building Climate Resilience, Conserving Biodiversity, and Caring for Land Towards Gender Equality and Empowerment. Of course, this highlights the pivotal role of women and the role they play in their families and then society at large. Now, my question is coming to you, Kamrid. How can empowering women, that's what we're talking about, rural women right now, how can it drive sustainable development, not just in their homes? We are talking about sustainable development all round in the communities, in their rural communities, and then down to the society at large.
Thank you very much. Okay. First of all, I need to say time without number. Okay. Empowerment is the last lap of it, but the most important thing is training. Okay, because if Bible says, you train a child, okay, where that should grow. Okay, that when he grows up, he's going to depart, not to depart from that. You see, the issue is that the norms of biblical injunction that a man who cannot provide for his own house is what's an infidel. I made some women to be lazy and sluggish. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but by the time the person undergoes this training first, it will go training. There's some attribute of training somebody, okay, consistently, so that they can be able to know what he's going to do and have focus. After that training, they will talk about the empowerment. Is it the empowerment that are going to make her to sustain her family, sustain the community, and sustain the nation, or even globally? You see, so the important thing is first of all the training. Yes, the people are saying that to empower the women. I believe that empowerment that negates employment, because what we do empowerment is that not everybody can be employed, but you can be empowered and get self-employed. I can even employ somebody. So it creates job opportunity. Like now, most of these women, okay, we tell them that by the time you develop a skill, try to bring others and train them. Even most of them do not train their children on that particular area. We talk about rural women. We talk about going to bush and get firewood, going to river and fetch water. Okay, going to forest and make a garden, garden. You see, and all these things and come back home. So what I'm trying to say is that these women in the rural area, by the time you give them the energy, when we talk about empowerment, is energy. Energy is for you to produce. Energy is for you to become productive. Energy is for you to become, instead of to become consumer, okay? You become what? A producer. And make sure that people now learn from you. Now, in the 2 dimensions, please, how they're going to sustain. Talk about, subsistence, okay? Sustenance, okay? And the commercial sustenance. I don't know what I'm saying now. Sustenance is that when somebody, as a woman, empower her and they stay in that particular rural area to make sure that her family eat. That's all. Produce what they're going to eat, nothing more. But we talk about going to reach others who also need that. That's what we call commercial, sustainability. And that's why we are going to give them that empowerment, that in large scale, for them to do what grow and expand their horizon and widen their scope. Okay. So what I say now, in this day that they're doing this celebration of women in rural area, is the only thing that we should do now is to make sure that our network, okay, is down to the rural area, and make sure that those women that are staying back, that man should go in and go out. So first of all, have to power woman, because man also has the energy. The women I say, go and get what I'm going to eat now. It's a responsibility. If you don't go, we can sit down here. We tell women no. But we're able to be a helpmate. If a man does not go there, try to find out something and be doing. Okay, so they're able to aid the family. The children is not only for the man, it's for all of you that own the children. Not for you to leave all the burden to the man alone. The Bible has said that if a man does not provide to his own house, is what benefit. It's not total. A man, Bible can use what of where Bible use. If a woman that does as she pleases her own body is dead while she's alive. Does it mean that if a man that does as he pleases his own body is not dead while he's alive? So that he cannot provide to their own household house, that he's there is not total. It means both man and woman, because a woman was taken out of man. That's why Bible tell us. So if both of you must provide for the family. If not, then you cannot say that it's only for the man. So women, go out there, find something doing, be trained, have the skill, and sustain their family.
Well, in a lighter note, I know that in our community those days, that's the head of the family.
Oninyaka.
Odoziako.
It's not head.
Obatako, nwoke bo Obatako. Nwoke bo Obatako, nwanyi bulu Odoziako no lia. Obatako.
Because he don't
well, I say on a lighter note. I said on a lighter note. Well,
so nwoke Batazia.
Why
How can you dozie if you don't have what I'm going to use to dozie?
If you have the capacity, you can dozie.
The empowerment and the scale is for you to have the capacity to give you scale.
Anyway,
I
just stayed on a lighter note.
That's why they receive training to dozie your woman.
Why in the olden days, in your own family, in your own village, in your own town, why a man will face cultivation of yam, why a woman will go to cocoyam? It's not division of labor. Woman can have a bunch of cocoyam that is in a very large farm.
I just
land.
said that.
And the man will face.
But do you know? But do you know that?
And they follow their husband to this farm.
Do you know that there are
That's why they marry
men?
many wives.
Do you know that there are men in this generation that will want to marry a wife for her to just take care of her home, and then the husband would do all the provision, provide for every single thing needed in that home?
Thank you very much. That's why when the man is no longer there, the woman will have to sell all those property to sustain those particular family, because she's not trained to be skillful. You make her to be only a housewife.
No, I'm just pointing that out. After all, I'm working. I'm not saying that a woman should just fold her hands at home and work. But I'm just trying to tell you that there are people like that, but we don't want to focus on them this morning because I say don't enlighten them. But then let's go.
Is there a woman that do you know that some women
let's not
cannot cook food?
Let's not go into
all these people that are brought,
Cooking is a skill, not meant for. It's not a gender-based skill. It's not a gender-based skill. No, it's not a gender-based skill. A man should know how to cook. A woman should know how to cook. So what happens? What happens when you are in a home and your wife falls sick? What happens? So the children and you will go hungry.
I will answer you that. Let me just tell you.
Okay.
What did the flip tell what the interpreting of tell flip? How can I know without having a teacher? So if you don't teach somebody how to cook in your own house, as a woman, you have your daughter is staying with you, he cannot be in the kitchen with you to know how you put all these things. Then by the time she go to her own husband's house, he cannot even do all these things. That's why you become housewife. So you must have to give them training, all skills. So if let's say if you know how to cook, my sister, pass it to your own daughter, pass it to your own son, so that they can able
exactly. We are now saying the same thing. We are now saying the same thing. That's what I said. That cooking is not just a skill for the female or women.
I agree.
A man should know how to cook. A woman should know how to cook. So what we are saying in all ramification is, as a parent, as a woman, if you're training your children, do not categorize the house chores and say that these are for the men, these are for the women. Let everybody in the house, both men and the female, participate in the house chores, so that when they grow up, some men live alone before they even get married. So what happens to them when they are living alone? They're going to take care of their homes. You don't expect them to be hiring someone to come and take care of their homes. So what I'm saying is, let's not argue about this. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you are training as a woman in that rural community, if you are training your boy child, train your girl child as well. You are training your girl child to be a wife material, 100 years. Train your boy child to be a husband material. When you are training a girl child, it's here, you are going to know how to cook, you should know how to take care of your home. But the boys, they are just there because they are men, and you leave them out. Tomorrow we have rascals in our society. Who will maltreat your daughters?
Let me tell you this thing, okay? The statistics have shown that our brothers who came down from overseas or whatever, who want to marry, they go down to village. 90% of them go down to village, not in the town. Because most of these people that cannot in the town cannot even go to forest to fetch
because they want the people that they will ride on. They want people that they will tell them to do what they want to do. It's those people that will tell you that it's a crime for them to have a washing machine at home.
What washing machine?
See the problem we are having?
Why do you have it?
Nobody wants to suffer. It's not. If I am
going to river to wash clothes, it's suffering.
Yes. If I have the capacity and I go to work every day and come back the same time you come back at home, you don't expect me to enter the kitchen to enter the kitchen to go and wash. If you are working and I am working, we should share the responsibility. But let's not go there. That's a topic for another day. We are still talking about rural women. I just wanted to correct an impression. So let's go ahead with how we can empower rural women to be self-sufficient and also provide. Please, let's not digress so much.
I'm not digressing, but I also want to tell you that empowering rural women, talk about role of women. If they don't play the role of imparting that into their daughters and sons, okay, it will generate for them to groom a bunch of laziness or in-them generation. And that's what is happening now. So by the time you give them that particular employment, know that their duty is for you to train. That's why you go to village, you must pass through these rigorous processes to see that you are very groomed up. So that by the time you go to town or go to anywhere or travel out, you can be able to sustain yourself.
Okay, just before we go, we really don't have time again. We have another segment.
Okay, excuse me, sorry. Finally, okay, I thank God that we are in Nigeria, where all this climate issue does not affect us. Go to Florida in America, have hurricane. Go to Australia, you have a wildfire. Go to Japan, always have tsunamis. Okay, what else? So the thing comes, and you're able to run inside the forest for you to have safety because of climate change. Can you sustain there if you don't go to all these things? So that's why it's very important for a woman in the rural area to train their children in all these particular skills, so that they will also contribute by helping the society.
All right, that's you're saying something. Lady, just before we go, we are talking about empowering women in rural communities. So, in what way can the government come in to empower those women in the rural communities so that, just like I said, they can maximize their potentials and also be able to contribute their quota to the growth of our economy? Just quickly before we go.
Thank you, Shedema. The way we are expecting government to come in, empower these rural women, is to provide material support and intervention during times of crisis, such as natural disasters, by supporting and empowering and affected women in their families. So we are expecting government, they should come in times like this, when there is crisis like this, for humanity to exist, or to have meaning. Governments should intervene and not leaving everything to the hands of God. God cannot come down from heaven to rescue these women, rural women. It must come through somebody. And that somebody, God must come through the government you are looking onto. If the government neglects those people there, they say, these people go and do this without empowering. If government want to send somebody an errand to those women, rural women to rescue them, it must empower them to what to use to rescue them. If you are sending me an errand to go and rescue my brother, you must empower me. Or if I go and say, government has sent me to you, you know that this thing is happening, or you're passing through this so thing, we are here for you. So that's it. Thank you.
Much for being here.
Thank you.
And then Comrade Uzo Ekemezie, Executive Country Director, Nibo Empowerment Foundation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. On final note to what my sister has said, okay, government should be realistic to empower people and not for make it a political, because If you give somebody something who does not learn it, okay, he or she will go and sell it at the market. And again, okay, our women, okay, should know that they should utilize their potential maximally to help the family to grow.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. I want to say a very big thank you to all our viewers. Thank you so much for being part of our discussion this Tuesday morning. My name is Chidima Orang. I will see you again tomorrow.
And I'm Ajulu Chukwu Okabwe. Have a blessed day.
My name is Madam